Thanks everyone for joining again in our session. Today's session is regarding Huawei Inverters, FusionSolar, creating account, plant, and connecting to Smartlogger. I hope you guys are keeping all well and safe in your homes or at work spaces. Today's session will be very interesting one because most of the people have queries how to connect their PV plant onto the monitoring platform and what features do they get once they go onto the monitoring platform. So we will continue our presentation with the how to create an account on the FusionSolar. Uh, the basic hierarchy that we can get on a FusionSolar platform is on the top being a VIP company, which is Jubaili Bros, and Jubaili Bros can create account for the distributors or EPCs, the contractors of the solar projects directly, and they can create account for their subcontractors. If their subcontractor or have also PV plants which they supply to, and they want their subcontractor to create account, so that is also an option. Other way around, the VIP itself can also create directly an account. So what happens is that when the VIP creates an account, which is the first account which Jubaili Growth already has, this is kind of a self-registration on the website where the represents. Uh, Let me see. There are a few checks if everything is going right. Can you guys hear me, please? Anyone?
Yes, I can hear you, Qadir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so the first account which is being made by Jubaili Bros, that is self-registration and represents the highest level account in this hierarchy. And then we can create account for you guys. Now, there is also an option that you create your own account. But the benefit with us creating your account would be that we will have access to your PV plant if we create an account, since we will be on the top level in the hierarchy. And then we will create a company account for you under which you can create as many PV plants as you can. So, but in this case, the lower level account will have visibility, to only their own PV plant, while the upper accounts will have access to their PV plant and can manage. Installer could attain service support to PV sites from all the upstream parties along the account management route. The type of accounts that is possible is installer role, user role, and guest role. So we have a form in this regard if you would like to create your own account, your own company account, and don't want us to access your PV plant data. So you can create your own, master account. But the other way around is that we create a company account for you, and then you can create your PV plant accordingly. So in case you need a service support from us, we will have access to your PV plant to view historically the PV plant performance and see what has gone wrong with the PV plant and what are the active errors and what are the passive errors. Accordingly, we can suggest a remedy. Someone is writing on the screen. See any option. Anyhow, I will proceed. Categories. Now, operation authorization associated to accounts. You have an installer role. You have a user role. The installer role will have all the access to the features of the FusionSolar. But the user role, which is normally the owner of the PV plant, have access to only few of those features because they are not supposed to do any alteration to the setting or the configuration of the PV plant as they are not authorized to do so. The PV plant data which owner can see is normally a basic PV plant data and the basic detail of each component inside the PV system. Self-registration to get the first VIP account. Now, this is something which you can do for your own self as well. We have already. You can go to the intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com. On that webpage, you can find the installer registration tab. You can click on that, and then you will fill up the company information, and then you can just submit that. After successful submission, you will receive an email on your email ID which you had put while entering the related information of your company. So you will go into that email ID and then click on the activation link. So once you have done a activation of the link through your email, then you can start using the company account, and then accordingly you can create further installer accounts under your company. You do not need to create a company time and again for each of the installer. The first person that creates a company account on the FusionSolar becomes the administrator for that company. So he can actually make more and more accounts, or maybe owners and guest roles under that company. If you are going to create another company, then the PV plant registered under one installer cannot be used by the other installer. So this is really very important that you have one administrator account by one company. Typically, this can be done. This administrator account can be created by Jubaili Bros, but if you want the same process, you can follow and you can create your own account. Create installer account for your colleague. Now, when you have a VIP account like we have, then we can create further installer accounts for you. Let's suppose an EPC buys inverter from us. When it comes to the phase of installation, they can request us to create an account for us on the FusionSolar. So this is how we will do. We will go to our administrator account. Under the administrator account, we will have the settings. Under settings, you will have the user management, and then you will have an option of add. Once we add, then we will be able to input the detail of the company and in the user. So this is something which we can do for your company. We can create an account for your company and subsequently for the installers under the same company. But this is very basic, which can be also replicated to the installers. The installers can create their own, colleague accounts under the subcontract for the subcontractors and also for their own colleagues. Create distributor, EPC, or end user accounts. Now, we being a VIP can create, as I said, an EPC or distributor account. The same procedure we will follow. What we do is that under the Jubaili Bros, we have an add option where we will go into that add option, and then we will create a whole new company, the EPC that would like us to actually create an account for you. Subsequently, you can follow the same procedure to create a subcontractor company on the FusionSolar PV platform. Again, the installer account, you will follow the process of going to the. We can create an installer account for the company that we have created under Jubaili Bros. So what we will do is that we will go under the company that we have created, and then we will go and create as an add option another company. Sorry, another installer account for that. And then we can provide access to the associated PV plants that has been commissioned already under the same company, if there is any. Otherwise, we will just leave and skip that option. How to add a PV plant? FusionSolar app to finish the local commissioning. So you will need the FusionSolar app to do the local commissioning of your PV plant. So for that, what you need is that you should install the FusionSolar, which is available on the Android or iOS app stores. And then once you have created your account on the FusionSolar, you can start using the FusionSolar app. And under the quick settings, you will go. You will put the basic parameters of your PV plant, and like the grid code, the time, the grid voltage, and that all. So once you have done this basic parameter setting, you will go to the next step of the device detection. For the device detection, what you will do is that you will just put the serial number of one of your devices in that PV plant, and the rest of the devices in that PV plant from Huawei will be automatically detected. The third phase is that you will go in the same quick setting. The third step is that you will connect it to the FusionSolar management. So for that, there is an option of intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com. You will pick that in, and then you will submit it. Once that is done, you will go to the further step here. It will give you the window or the successful connectivity of your PV plant components with the FusionSolar management. Now this is connected. The second phase is to go and create a PV plant for this. So it will automatically pop up, a new window once you do this, and we will be proceeding with the creating a PV plant. So yeah, so this is the step that you will follow for creating registering a PV plant on the FusionSolar. So under the quick setting, once you have done the basic commissioning and connectivity of the component to the FusionSolar, you will get this window. So either you skip it and you do it going to the FusionSolar web account, or you can use immediately your mobile app to register the PV plant. So we'll go through the both solutions of using your mobile app or the website. Now, talking about the FusionSolar registration to your PV plant, the first step is that that you will start adding a PV plant. So once that step is done, you will move to the next step. You will put the serial number of the Smartlogger or the smart dongle, which receives the information of all the loggers or the smart dongles in that PV plant. So if you have multiple smart dongles or multiple smart loggers, you can add multiple smart loggers in multiple smart logger serial numbers into the add plant option. By doing that, it will get all the related information or all the related information which is associated with the devices connected to that logger or dongle, and then you can access all those data. So proceeding ahead, you will then once that plant is created, you can subsequently create new users for that account. New user could be an owner, can be an installer for that. So that you might give an authority to one of your affiliates to view that PV plant constantly and see if there is an error. So that you can provide an installer account for that. But you can also give an access to your owner, which is in most of the cases you will be doing. So the same process, as I said, can be done on the website. Once you open your installer account on the FusionSolar, you will have a tab of Add PV Plant. You can see here on the right side under the home page. Under the home page, you will click this Add Plant, and then you will you will have a small window which will pop up. You will provide the basic information of the PV plant, like DC capacity, like the time of the commissioning, like the company name and the owner and that all. And then the next step is giving the device information, which is the serial number of your devices, so that it detects. If you put the wrong serial number under the add device, access device, it will immediately detect that this is not in the database of Huawei. So you must put the right serial number, and this is one very good way that you are putting the right serial number onto the FusionSolar, so that it understands and actually looks into the FusionSolar management and see if a device of that serial number is connected to the management. Yeah. So that is step we already discussed in the local commissioning, like how you create, how you commission and connect it to the FusionSolar. Registering a PV plant on the website again, it proceeds to the access device. And normally our device, Huawei device, serial numbers are 12, 17, or 20 string letters. It could be digits or it could be alphabets. So it is a combination of both. So you need to read it properly from the boxes or from the device text attached to the product. So after you input the serial number of any device, all affiliated devices in the system are automatically detected and shown. So this is very simple. So the next step is that create an end user account for the new PV plant. Now the end user account is actually the owner. So what do you do is that quite a typical process you will again follow. Under the same installer account, you will go to the user management. Under the user management, you will add. Under then add, you will give the username password for the new person that will be using the PV plant data to view it. And then the compulsory information is the mobile number or the phone number. So you will be putting the phone number here and optionally the email address of that owner. So you will assign a role, which is an owner role or user role, you say, and then you go to the associated plant. So you will go and associate a plant. You being an APC would have multiple plants which you have commissioned using Huawei, but the plant which is dedicated to the owner of that building, you would be associating that one. So there is a tab next to the role associate plant. So you will click that, go into that particular PV plant, and then edit for his management and viewing. I would further add onto this slide is that so you will create basically a username and password, and you will provide this username and password to a customer or the end user, so they can immediately change it once they log in. So the FusionSolar, the window will automatically pop up once they first log in, and they will ask that this is the first time that you have logged in. Do you want to change your password? So that is an option. So all the accounts that will be created by Jubaili Bros as well for the other companies and the installers. Once we provide you a username and password, you can go on to the FusionSolar. First time you will log in, and you will be asked to change the password. So we cannot access the same account again. How to manage PV plants using installer role. So this is the basic homepage of installer role account. At the end of this session, I will also open my browser, and I will show you quickly, live the test site as well, and then the basic feature live for an installer account that you will get. So this is the basic page that you will get once you open as an installer account. So under the home page, you will get this tab, which is the plant KPIs and status. So you will get like the generation data, how much energy has been generated till that time is there, how much money have you been saving, and a pie chart will be there to give you the plant status, how many plants you have, and how many of them are having error. On the right side here is real-time alarm. So you will get these data as well, with how many critical or minor or major alarms are given your PV plant. At the bottom, you will have this window where you can see all the PV plants that is under that particular installer account. Okay, so you can click on any of them to go into the detail of that PV plant. So we'll discuss one by one. We just went through the home page, and we will go to the report management. This report management is very easy. You can go into this tab, and then you can create a report of your PV plant for the generation, alarms, and the history. Under the device management and intelligent O&M, we will again speak it in the next slide. So I will go back to the previous slide and show you this KPI dashboard option under. So this KPI dashboard option is on the top. You can click this KPI and dashboard to see how many PV plants till the date that you have installed on different locations. What are the total generation happening, and this is the window that you will get. And this is the first step on the top left corner is the plant planning. You will get the total capacity of all the PV plants that you have installed. This is the DC capacity and the total number of plants and how many are there. Real-time power. So again, the PV plants that you have installed and the whole capacity that you are looking up here, you will get the real-time generation at this point. So the current power and the curve. Yield and income. So you will get the daily energy yield and for each day for the last days, and accordingly what revenues have you saved. So these map at the center will show you where are your PV plants located. So if you want to go into that particular PV plant, you can zoom in and you can click that. But on the right side, there is a social contribution. So the benefits of your PV plants are that you will be saving a lot of the CO2 depending on in the energy mix in the country. So normally, if the PV plant is 100%, in an area where the generation by the way the grid authority is normally from the carbon, fossil fuels, so you will be saving 100% CO2 reduction. So you can see the CO2 reduction here and require tree planting data to give you a goosebump in that how the PV plant that you've installed is how much benefiting the environment actually. At the center, you will get the O&M and statistics. So again, it is kind of the real-time alarm. So this is something very important that you need to know in different tabs about your different PV plants. What is the condition of the PV plants? Again, at the bottom right corner, you'll get the yield ranking. So all the different PV plants that you have installed on different PV sites, the one with the highest generation will be on the top. The next and next and next will be with the hierarchy being shown, such as which one is giving you the highest yield in time. O&M dashboard. This is one of the interesting dashboard that you get it with the Huawei. So under the home page, in the first page, the very basic page, you will find home page, report management, device information, and one is the intelligent O&M. So this is actually the tab intelligent O&M. Once you click it, you will get this tab. So what features do we get under this tab? I will again follow from the left top corner, plant comparison. So here is a tab that Huawei has introduced as a plant comparison. I will be discussing it in detail in the next tab, but this is something to tell you is that you can compare multiple PV plants with each other to see which one is outperforming the others, and if one is less performing, what could be the possible reason, and you can just go and dig into that. So at the center, you will get again these maps. So if you click on one of the projects which have installed somewhere in this map, you will get the PV plant name, the capacity, the kilowatt power, the electricity status, and then versus compare plants yield. So you will get an information for that as well. So if you want to compare this PV plant that you are viewing in this window. Again, on the right, you will get the PV plant alarm. So if there is any alarm, you will get it. So one of the most fascinating feature with Huawei is the smart hour curve diagnosis, which you will get under the O&M dashboard, under the intelligent O&M, which you can find at the bottom right corner. So this tab is intelligent diagnosis. So Huawei is having this feature, which is also certified by TUV, to monitor all the string. And once you give this diagnosis command, inverters will collect the data of all the strings and will send it to the management, FusionSolar management, where it will apply an algorithm to find the errors in all those strings that you have. If it is normal, it will pop up a window which will tell you it is perfect and working fine. With the ones that having errors, it can show you that what is exactly the error and what could be the solution to solve it. We will again come to that smart IV curve diagnosis in the next steps, and once you click it, how the report will be, shown to you in the FusionSolar and how you can download that. Comparison parameter, as I said, we can do a comparison of multiple PV plants. So once you click on that comparison, you will have the PV plant which you are already monitoring, and then you can click on this plus sign to add another PV plant. Again, the third one to have another PV plant. So you can compare multiple PV plants on Huawei FusionSolar. So the comparison is done based on the energy generation and the plant capacity divided by plant capacity, which is normally called as the specific energy yield of that PV plant. So the one with the highest energy yield, something you would be appreciating, but the one which is giving a lower production, you might be getting curious to know what would be the possible reason. So you can do the intelligent IV curve diagnosis one way, and to know what could be the possible reason of less generation. Yeah, subsequently you can do the remedies once you know that what are the faults in that PV plant. Smart IV curve diagnosis. So in order to do the smart IV curve diagnosis, first thing that you have to do is that under the PV plant you have to go under the setting, and for each inverter you need to give the information of the strings. So then the FusionSolar management know how many solar modules you have connected in each string, which type of solar module is that, what is the temperature coefficient of that, what is the brand, and all of that information, the current and voltage and that. So you will be putting up that information. You will be putting it for one string, and then you can also replicate it for other string by applying the batch configuration option, which is on the top. So if multiple strings share the same, string length, you can use the same and apply, batch configuration. So there are a few instances. There are a few instances where you would be, having one string going to the two inputs of an inverter. So in that scenario, you might be using a Y connector to split the output of one string into two different inputs of that inverter. So you have to give the data as well to the FusionSolar management. So so there is a a tape. There is a particular. So this is here you will find the string 2-in-1. So it means you are using a Y connector in this scenario. IV curve diagnosis report. So once you have, once you have given all the string information to the PV plant, monitoring platform FusionSolar, which will be only required only the first time when you will be doing the IV curve diagnosis. Next time, whenever you will do, it will remember definitely. So it will perform the IV curve diagnosis and will provide you a report of that. These window will appear once the IV curve diagnosis, analysis is done. And so on the top, you will see that you will get the pie chart, which will show you how many strings are healthy in terms of percentage, and how many strings are unhealthy. At the bottom, you will get by each inverter which string is faulty. At the bottom, you will find the IV curve of each string. So you will also have an option of downloading this report in terms of a PDF. So it will give you a quick summary of the whole PV plant, and then give you the string level, information in terms of IV curve, and showing you whether it is performing well or if there is any issue and what is the possible remedy to that. So Huawei FusionSolar have this IV curve which can detect 14 different types of faults in the strings, which could be like glass breakage, which could be PID issue, and similar others. Single plant overview, installer role. So if you are going to view a PV plant as an installer role, this is how it will look like. Under the plant view, you will have the basic, diagram of your PV plant, real time, which will show you the real time energy flow, whether it is generating your PV plant is generated, and if it is going towards the load or it's going towards the grid. If you have a power meter, it will also show you exactly how much amount of power is going to your load from the grid side and how much power is going from your solar side. So in energy management, this is a very good tip. Then you will get the information of the current day, that how much energy is being generated in the particular day, starting early morning, and what time it is started. Similarly, you can get this information for multiple days, months or years. On the right side, you will get you can upload a picture of your PV plant and see to get the basic information like the DCA capacity and that all. Also, Huawei, based on the location that you will be associating to your PV plant, will get the weather information online and will tell you what is the current weather information and what is the next 2 days weather forecast in that particular area. So it is sunny, it is cloudy, it is overcast, sorry, and accordingly you can imagine what could be a possible generation of your PV plant. Again, in these PV plant homepage, you will get the real-time alarm for that particular PV plant, not the whole all the PV plants that you have installed as an installer. At the bottom, again, you will get the social benefits of your PV plant. You can create a plant layout if you're using optimizers. So Huawei also provides you the PV optimizers. Optimizers, as you all know, is required normally for the rooftop PV plants. And where there is shade in one particular areas, you want to utilize that shaded area as well, and you want to put the module. So what do you do is that you have an option of using partial optimizer or a full optimizer. But when you use a full optimizer with another device which Huawei supplies is the PV safety box, then you have an option of creating more layout of your PV plant. So these can be done on Huawei FusionSolar by scanning the text of the PV optimizer through your FusionSolar mobile app. So I will come to that point again in one of the next slides. So this is how you will be doing it. So it will display the energy generation of each and every module that you will be putting and what is the current generation. So the ones that will be blue in this PV plant, while so it means they are running fine. And if any of them is of blue color, that is normal. If it is red, any of the module in color, so it means it is faulty. If it is gray, it means it is disconnected. You might have disconnected, or maybe there is some disconnection due to any damage into the cable. Device management. Under the PV plant data, you will have, if you're viewing a particular PV plant, let's say I have installed somewhere in Dubai and I will go to my installer account and click on that particular Dubai installation, you will have a tab of the device management. So under device management, you will see how many devices, Huawei devices or third-party devices you have and the related information. This could be inverter, Smartlogger, or power meter. It could be weather station. So yes, even batteries, which can be installed with our single-phase inverters and the three-phase inverters up to 10 kilowatt, which Huawei will introduce battery models in the near future. You would be installing and can be able to view the battery information on this device management tab. Again, you will get detailed information of each device under these tab. So you can view the voltage, current, and all related to the information and the status, that how is it working as of now, whether it is faulty or it is working fine. So as I said, I would be speaking in detail about the physical layout by installer. So you can create it in two different ways. One way, which is the easiest way, is that you use your FusionSolar mobile app. I have a separate video which I can share with any of you anytime, which would be using. But normally we have seen that optimizer, full optimizer solution for the PVSF safety box comes for rare applications. So under the FusionSolar installer account, you will go into the plant layout and you can create a layout for that. You will create this plus sign here, and then you will be prompted with these window. Under these window, you will be having the option of creating a layout, like columns, rows, and then plus and then what is the inclination angle of that installation? What is the, if you want to tilt the layout, you can tilt it from this point. Once that is done, the third phase is that add or delete a component. You might have added too many components, too many solar panels, and few solar panels in particular locations you have not installed, so you can just remove that by right clicking on that particular solar panel and applying the delete option. And then you can just finish by saving this plant creation layout, physical layout creation. This is a feature that comes with the installer account. Historical data under the same PV plant, you will get the historical data. Historical data includes the voltages, the currents, the frequencies, device internal temperature, energy yield, and that all. So you will get these graphs as well, which will show you the current day generation. And on the right side, you will see another tab, another graph, which will give you the information about the inverter efficiency and device internal temperature. So if you see in this particular graph, the temperature varies, which is shown by these varying graph, and the efficiency of the inverter remains constant because the temperature is not rising too much. So the red line shows the efficiency of the, which is not altered because it is less than the point, less than the threshold point, after which the inverter starts derating. Plant sharing function. So the installer can share plant management authority with other installer accounts and cancel sharing anytime. So you have an option. If you go to a particular PV plant, on the top you will get an option of the share. So you will put the share option, and then you will give the email ID, and then the particular person will receive an email with the access to that PV plant. So that person will only be able to view that PV plant but they cannot change the properties of the PV plant. How to manage PV plants? Again, we come to the home page of a particular PV plant. So on the top, you will have a kiosk mode. This is something really interesting which Huawei has introduced. Real-time energy flow, energy management, and alarm, which we spoke earlier as well about. Under the energy management, you will get two very informative factors about your PV plant. One is the self consumption rate, and the other one is the self sufficiency rate. These you can get either in terms of self consumption rate or self sufficiency rate, or you can also change it to the self consumption energy or and the consumed energy from the grid. So what These factors will tell you about your PV plant. The information that it will provide, it will tell you that how much you are consuming power from the PV plant and how much you are taking it from the grid. The self-consumption rate will tell you that the amount of generation, energy generation that you have done through your PV plant, either is it 100% consumed or it is going towards the grid. If you see into this particular graph where it is showing you 100% blue, it means the total generations from the PV plant is done, is consumed by the load. And on the right side, you see in these bar graph, horizontal bar graph, again, it shows you that almost like 56% of the uh, load was run from the PV plant, which shows you the self-sufficiency rate, that you are 54%, 56% sufficient, self-sufficient, and you are just relying 44% on the grid. So again, at the bottom of these graphs, you will get the exact energy, going from the PV plant and coming from the grid. So these will be explained also via these graphs. Kiosk mode. So if you want to give someone an access of your PV plant, you can give them access through the kiosk mode as well, which gives them the very basic information of your PV plant, that how it is being run. Third party personnel can browse the KPI of PV plant through the link without password requirement. So you will have this information under kiosk mode on the PV plant. You can generate a link. You will turn on the kiosk mode for the PV plant and then generate the link. These link you will send it via WhatsApp or whatever you want via email to that person, and that person will put this link on the browser. Once they put this on the browser, a window, full screen window will pop up, which will show you the current generation and the basic history of that PV plant, as you can see here. This kiosk mode is supported by most of the browsers such as Internet Explorer, Chrome, and Firefox. So once you will get this kiosk mode, it will not show you on the top the different options of browsing and that all. It will be a full screen, and then unless you press escape, it will remain in the kiosk mode and you will be viewing this. So we come to the connecting the Smartlogger to the FusionSolar via WebUI. So WebUI is a local configuration portal for the Smartlogger. People sometimes confuses the FusionSolar with the WebUI. So I would again tell that the WebUI is a local, not remote, like FusionSolar. A local platform for configuring your Smartlogger only Smartlogger. How you do? You connect your Smartlogger directly to the to your laptop, or you can connect your Smartlogger to an internet router via Ethernet cable, and then again that you will connect your router to your laptop or PC. So these is two different ways of connecting it. So you will get a local connection between your Smartlogger and your PC to configure it. The first and foremost important thing is, once you have done this setup, is to go into your laptop or PC and change the local area connection IP rate, IP setting. So under the IPv4 setting, you will go and change it to use to a static IP. Normally, and your laptops would have you would be having a setting of obtain an IP address automatically, which you will be changing it to use the following IP address, which will, and you will be assigning a static IP address. You will click this. You will provide an IP address, which is 192 in this case .168.0.15. Normally the last one is the device address 15. So in this case you make sure that the same address you should not be assigning to the Smartlogger or any other PC or laptop connected into the same router. This should be a unique IP address in itself. And then you will click OK once you have confirmed and you have given a static IP to your laptop or PC. The next step is accessing the WebUI. In order to do that, browse the Smartlogger IP on your PC. So you will open Firefox, which is one of the preferred way. So you will open that, and on the top you will put the Smartlogger IP. This is login. You will log in as an admin, where the default password change me with the capital C. Default Smartlogger IP is 192.168.0.10. So you will just copy this IP address and then paste it on your Firefox or other browser, and the WebUI portal will pop up. So, and then you will be logged in as an admin or as an advanced user if you're using the old Smartlogger. So once you log in, you will be asked to change the password of WebUI on first login, which is optional. If you want, you can change. Otherwise, you can keep it as changed. So this is the window that will appear after you will put the IP address of the Smartlogger on the browser. The language you will select. Most of you would be using English. Admin, if you're using the new Smartloggers. The old one you will be again having the option of advanced user, which you will be using. The password, as I said, is change me, but you can use that. Now you will go and change the setting. Under the settings, you can change the IP address of the Smartlogger if you want. Otherwise, you can keep it the same. So remember that the routers come normally with two different gateways. Router is kind of the door, the main door of a house, and so all the information that will be accessed is through router, from the Smartlogger. So you have to give a proper gateway, which is mentioned on the router. So the gateway is normally 192.168.0.1. In some cases, the router gateway is 192.168.1.1. So you will change the gateway to 1.1. And subsequently, when you are assigning the IP address to your laptop or PC, you will use the same gateway. If your router IP is different, set the Smartlogger like 3000 like below example. So you will do the Smartlogger 3000 setting on the WebUI in this way. So Smartlogger IP address you will put as 192.168.1 instead of 0 and then .10. So that .10. Now subnet mask, which it will be automatically picked, and the default gateway you will pick. Choose this one and secondary DNS to this one. So the ones that are underlined here in this way, in these slide, you will be needing to change in case the router IP is this one. And now you will go to the setting and you will connect your Smartlogger to the FusionSolar management. So for that, you will go to the settings. Under the settings, you will have the management system. Under the management system, you will have the option of connecting to FusionSolar and Netico. We recommend you guys to start using the FusionSolar, which is the latest monitoring tool platform having more features. So you will be choosing intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com with the port address 27250 and submit it. Again, to summarize the previous slide, from the setting tab, you will go to the management system and set the below underlined parameter as given. Server, you will choose intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com. The port address you will put 27250 and you will do the submission. So the ones that are underlined, you will be changing. After you set the wired network parameter and FusionSolar server, you can request Jubaili Bros to create an installer account if you don't have, or you can create installer account on intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com. Now, for creating a an account on FusionSolar, we have a PDF file which we can share with you, giving you the two options, either creation of account by Jubaili Bros or either by yourself. So any of you would be needing, just write us an email to technicalsolar.uae@jubailibros.com and we will come up with that document. Thank you very much. Today's session has finished. I will quickly now go to the FusionSolar website and show you live that how does it look. We won't have PV plant to show you as of now, but this would be good for you to view what we have learned now. So as I believe you guys can now view my window of the FusionSolar account. So I have logged in as an installer account and this is the window that I will receive. So as I said, you will get a home page. Under the home page, you will get the KPIs of all the PV plants and the plant status. How many plants do I have? How many of them are normal faulty? On the right side, any error if I have with any of the PV. At the bottom here, I will get all the PV plants that I have installed and commissioned. Under the report management, I can, if I have PV plants, I can generate, the whole plant report, the inverter report, or the battery report. Similarly, under device management, as I said, for a particular PV plant, I will be able to view that particular device information. Under the intelligent O&M, these window, as I said, you can do the plant comparison and you will get a map like this. So you can zoom in and go to a particular place somewhere and then you can click that PV plant and get the data here. So you can do the comparison here on the top by clicking VS. At the bottom, you will have the option of intelligent or diagnosis. So you'll click it. If you have the license, you will be able to do this intelligent diagnosis. The other option is switch to dashboard. So I will go to the switch to dashboard, which you will find on the top once you have opened your installer account. So this window will open. Under this window, you will be able to view all the real-time power here on the top, the energy and income data here, and the social contribution here. And similar, you will get the map here to go through and see which areas you have planted, which area in the world you have installed which PV plant and have commissioned under that installer account. So this is the basic introduction of the FusionSolar. If any of you would like, you can also go through to FusionSolar website and you will get a demo account. Under the demo account, you will not need any ID or password. So you can view also how the will look as an owner role, how the FusionSolar platform looks like, and what features would you get in